Welcome back to Natural Hair Care 101. Today we're going to be talking about your hair porosity and how to test for it. Your hair porosity relates to your hair's ability to absorb and retain moisture. It's based on how open or closed your cuticle is, which basically affects how well your hair holds hydration and your hair products. It's categorized in 3 levels. We have low porosity, medium porosity, and high porosity. So let's start with low porosity. Low porosity is very well known to be super resistant to water, to moisture and hair products, and this is because of how tightly closed the cuticles are. So it's very difficult for moisture to penetrate in because your cuticle layer is basically sealed shut. So this results in product buildup, water beads forming on top of the hair, and then when the water finally penetrates, it takes forever to dry. And your hair being prone to dryness because the products aren't penetrating. So in many cases, when you have low porosity, you have to use heat, such as steamers, to help with opening up the cuticle so that the products can penetrate in. The second well-known is high porosity. High porosity is super known for drying super quickly because of how open the cuticles are. So the cuticle layer allows moisture to penetrate in easily, but to also escape just as quickly. So without properly sealing the hair with oils, butters, or protein, the moisture will quickly escape and your hair will dry just as fast. Now, medium porosity, the middle child of the family, because they don't get as much attention, but they basically have a nice moisture balance. Medium porosity can be a little trickier to identify because it falls right in between low and high porosity. So it doesn't dry as quickly as high porosity, nor does it take time to absorb moisture. The cuticle layers of a medium porosity are slightly open, so it allows moisture to penetrate in and not form the water beads on top, and to also stay because they're not widely open like the high porosities. So moisture penetrates easily and it also stays. Now, how can you test for your hair porosity at home? The most accurate method when it comes to testing your hair porosity is the drying time method. Not the water cup, glass, hair strand test. That is super inaccurate. Don't waste your time. Instead, this is what I want you to do. I want you to start on clean hair, freshly washed hair, meaning no product added, no leave-ins, no creams, no oils, no nothing. And you're gonna test the drying time. Now, you could test with just a section of your head or your whole entire head. It's up to you, but you need to start on freshly washed hair. So on your wash day, when you wet your hair, if water beads form on the surface of your hair and it takes more than 3 hours for your hair to dry, you have low porosity. If you wet your hair and it quickly absorbs and dries within 30 minutes to an hour, you have high porosity. An hour is honestly generous, and because of how quickly your hair dries, it might start feeling rough at the touch, literally screaming for moisture. Now again, medium porosity is a bit trickier to find out because it sits right in between low and high porosity, but here's an easy way to just know. If there's no water beads forming when you wet your hair, cancel low porosity out. Now you have medium and high porosity. Which one is it? Again, high porosity dries pretty quickly, and if it's a section of your hair, it's literally within minutes. Medium porosity will take a steady amount of time to dry. So if when you wet your hair and the water is absorbing with no water beads on top, if your drying time is within an hour or 2, you have medium porosity. So if there's no water beads forming and it takes over an hour to dry, you have medium porosity. So for today's homework, I want you to test for your hair porosity. And when you find out, you're gonna leave in the comments, homework done with your hair porosity and a green check. If you already know your porosity, this will be an easy homework for you. So all you have to do is leave your hair porosity with a check. And in our next class, we'll look over the ingredients to look for or to maybe avoid when it comes to your hair products. So ladies and gentlemen, I will see you in the next video.